One final down, 5 to go. Next up, it's the final for Junior Rotax. Let's take you through 28 strong starting grid. Daes van Wyk and Thomas Verheyen will line up on the front row. Joining them on behind them on row 2 will be Lars Lambers and Max Sudurski. Daes Stevens and Bran van der Weyken round out row 3, with Boris Maximov and Luca van Leer rounding out row 4. Levi Dries and Jake Menton will round out row number 5, thereby completing the top 10. Well, there's going to be a slight change. Well, Adam Vida will not be joined by Fabian Ruckman on row number 6 because the latter has not started this race. Will be joined. Then you'll have Tristan Chase, Alexander Van Meeuwen, Jim Back, Rick Kopperal, Rocco Keur. Then we've got Lieke van Berkel, Nicolas Machon, Nicolas Nijs, Vince Dries, Henry Melchior. Then we've got Bodine Blankenberg, Ryan Kibitz-Bosch, Job van Ekelen, Nudez Den Engelsman, Eva Dorrestein. There will also be no Timo Koopmans on the grid. So 26 Junior Rotax drivers competing in this final. We up the ante from 10 minutes in the heat in the pre-final to 12 minutes plus an additional lap of this 1,388-metre circuit here at Mariembourg in Belgium. So the revs rise, lights are on, and the timer has counted down. We now have the drivers making their way into turn number 2. All line astern at the moment, very easy going. But at the minute, oh, we've got one backwards into the barriers. That is the 2-1-5, Vince Dries, that has taken a turn around, and that has dropped the driver back down the order. But at the minute, Daes van Wyk leads the way as, oh, big moment going off the circuit. Jake Menton completely sideways and has lost a handful of positions as everyone now starting to slipstream past the 2-3-1. After the opening lap, Daes van Wyk leads ahead of Lars Lambers. Thomas Verheyen rounds out the top 3. Max Sudurski, Daes Stevens, Boris Maximov rounds out the top 6 thus far. At the back end of that train, you've got Luca van Leer and Bran van der Weyken running at the top 8, who were covered by 1.5 seconds. Someone's gone off. That was one of the Pragas coming out of the exit of turn number 4. So we have, oh, right, okay, yellow flag inside the marshal post at Escargot. So someone has had a moment. But we're coming up to 2 minutes completed. Lap 2 is going to be in the books very shortly as Van Wyk continues to lead. Change a little bit further back. Boris Maximov through on Max Sudurski for 4th place. Neatly done by the 2-3-0. Nicolas Machon has dropped and might be the driver that is out of the race. Yep, there's a yellow flag on the approach into turn number 5. So Nicolas Machon also has gotten going again. Oh, right, yellows into Chemin de Fer. And there is so they have got a yellow on the approach into Chemin de Fer through turn 5, and then into Chemin de Fer itself before, when you take the left-hander straight afterwards. That means that you've also got then got the green flag, which is when the drivers can then start to overtake. But Van Wijk continuing to... right, now the games have started. Thomas Verheyen looked up the inside of Lars Lambers. And now again it's happening through into turn number 2. And every time that Verheyen makes a move, this opens the opportunity. Oh, Dave Stevens right up the... Oh, great move there by... Now, was that Maximov? It was. Maximov got through on Verheyen and Lambers at the same time. So Maximov got through, went from 4th to 2nd, like a rat up a drain pipe. Did the 2-3-0 from Buvin Power. So it was a nice little move there by Boris Maximov. Verheyen is in 3rd. 4th is Lambers. 5th, Stevens. Swiderski is 6th. 7th will be Luca van Leer, who's got ahead of Bran van der Weken, who's now going to have to battle away with Alexander van Meeuwen. I think they might have just gone side by side into turn number 1. Catch it out of the corner of my eye. But with the top 10 covered by 3.2 seconds. And then you look down to 24th, they're covered by 12.7. Oh, now that was a bit of a moment there for Lars Lambers. Went a little bit deep into turn 4. Up the inside went Dave Stevens. There goes Max Swiderski in the 2.97. They're clashing side pods and sidewalls. Oh, and it's happened all over again. Just completely unnecessary, I think. Yes, a robust move is if it's done the right way, is a fair move. You can sometimes see that the drivers just get that little bit impatient. And yes, it's going for the win in the final. But sometimes if you risk it for the biscuit, it doesn't always work out the way you planned or the way that you hoped. Now, up the inside, that's Lars Lambers through on Dave Stevens. That's allowed Max Swiderski to get through. Who else? Well, it hasn't allowed Lars Lambers shut the door firmly in the general direction of Max Swiderski. Now everything's starting to accordion at the minute, starting to close up quite a bit. Alexander van Meeuwen's at the back end of that train. And if they start squabbling, this is close proximity racing we're talking about here. Up the inside of Thomas Verheyen goes Dave Stevens. And then, I think it's always the way that you make a move and it doesn't always stick. Then someone else makes a move, that then sticks. So it is a case of how the pendulum swings when it comes to battling. And now look at the gap that the top 2 have got. That gap's going to be big. It's 2.7 seconds. Because they started squabbling, the top 2 have gotten away, and the battle for the race win is going to be between them. Not those people that are 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and whatever, That's 7 carts. 7 carts that have gone and possibly cost themselves an opportunity for a race win. Okay, first penalty has just been issued. Levi Dries leaving the corridor with 2 wheels out of the tram lines. That's 3 seconds. That has just been put on the driver's race, completed race time, post-session. And still, Lars Lambers is holding on at the minute. He's got Dave Stevens not too far behind. Thomas Verheyen goes through on Bran van der Weken, who gets the crossover. This could allow... Oh, Aaron Vida has finally caught up and now has passed Verheyen into turn 2. It's a nice move by Aaron Vida, but then Thomas Verheyen comes back at him. Bran van der Weken and Alexander van Meeuwen have now joined this 4-way scrap. A little bit further back, Luca van Leer is a little bit further behind. Yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting how the race develops. Luca van Leer further adrift. There are the top 2 just going through shot. Half a second separate them, and then 3 seconds nearly is the gap between them. Well, Adam Vida doing a credible job there for the Karting Benelux Racing team. Oh, we've got another yellow flag I've just seen. That was towards turn 5. But has now been retracted. So let's see, up the inside, Bran van der Weyken gets through on Adam Vida, and Alexander Van Meeuwen is just waiting in the wings. Of course, over the course of the winter period, there's always those driver moves that do happen. And Bran van der Weyken and Alexander Van Meeuwen used to run at the same stable at GKS until the tail end of last year, if I remember correctly. And you can just see that you know who the younger drivers and you know who have been there for a little bit of time. Dave Stevens, one of the most experienced, if not the most experienced driver on this junior Rotax grid, has just got through. And that was on Lars Landers for P3. Max Swiderski is now giving chase and is closing on in. So with 3 minutes to go, it is anybody's guess what might transpire in the next few laps. Fastest lap of the race set by Dave Stevens. 56.258 as Adam Vida gives a little bit of an assist and a further assist to Thomas Verheyen. That's brought in Alexander Van Meeuwen, and Thomas Verheyen's off the circuit. Oh, dearie me, disaster for the 288. It was one touch, then it turned into a second touch. Didn't really know how to read that, but oh, it's all kicked off for P3. Dave Stevens still ahead, had to defend against Lars Lambers, and also, well, Max Swiderski trying the Hail Mary undercut, and he's going to make it 3 wide out of turn 3, and he gets 2 for the price of 1. Max Swiderski timed that to absolute perfection and got through. He did the Hail Mary, did the undercut, and it was a big one. It caught out Stevens and Lambers at the same time. It's also brought Bran van der Weyken into this mix. There are the two at the front, Thijs van Dijk and Boris Maximov, who are leading the way by a considerable margin. A considerable margin. So minutes and 35 plus an additional lap to go. 2.5 tenths cover the top 2. And it's 4.8 seconds. Oh, round the outside at T1, and he still kept the throttle pinned. Tay Stevens with the overtake of the weekend so far. Absolutely brilliant. Round the outside, kept the throttle pinned. Max Swiderski went, no, you're not getting this. And Tay Stevens went, yes, I have done. I'm already past. But the thing is, to do an audacious overtake like that, you've got to have some real intestinal fortitude, or in other words, guts to do it. There are other words that can describe that, but none that are broadcastable. But the way he just kept it planted, and Swiderski went, oh yeah, I might have a chance to get back at it. And Tay Stevens had the presence of mind as if to say, no, this is my moment. I'm going to overtake you around the outside and get the job done. And he's already started pulling away. Now, Swiderski has got Lambers up the inside for P5. That's the move done. And now, Bran van der Weyken seizes an opportunity, and that's allowed Adam Vida to get through. Now, has Vida got the job done on the pair of them? Yes, he has. Well, again, it's just a carbon copy of what we saw with Max Swiderski. Vida did exactly the same thing. And now Vida's going to lose 3 places through Chemin de Fer at that same point. So Vida at one point was P5. Now he's down to, well, P4. Now he's, well, it's P5. Sorry, my apologies. He's up to P5. Now he's 8th. Final lap is underway, and Thijs van Dijk and Boris Maximov still holding on to the fort in the 1-2 formation at the minute. Thijs Stevens set in 3rd. Lars Lambers, Bran van der Weyken and Max Swiderski ran out the top 6. Alexander Van Meeuwen and Adam Vida ran out the top 8 ahead of Jim Buck and Luca van Leer. Ava Dorestein, what a comeback. She's up to 12th and could get, well, I'm not too sure how far away she is from those in front. Well, 1.5 seconds covering 10th to 12th. It could be a bit of a tall order, but you never say never. A side-by-side through turn number 4 on the final lap. As, oh, we've had a couple off at Chemin de Fer, and one of which is 284, Luca Van Leer. Now, who was the other driver? Didn't quite catch out the number, but we've got to concentrate on the race winner. Thijs van Wijk and Boris Maximov bring it home as a 1-2 for Bouvin Power, covered by 1.5 tenths of a second. Thijs Stevens, 6.65 seconds behind in third. Lars Lambers fourth. And let's see, Luca Van Leer, and was it? Oh, it was Jim Buck in the number 211. Oh, not what you wanted on the final lap. They were running so well. And there is the 211 from SR Solutions. Thijs van Wijk and Boris Maximov take a 1-2 for Bouvin, with Van Wijk the winner. Thijs Stevens, Lars Lambers, Bran van der Weken ran at the top 5 ahead of Max Swiderski, Alexander Van Meeuwen, Adam Vida, Rick Kopperal and Ava Dorestein. Dorestein, 17 places gained to finish 10th. What a run. Bodine Blankenberg, 23rd to 11th. Tristan Shays, 12th. Thomas Verheyen, 13th. Ryan Kivisbosch, 10 places gained to finish 14th, head of Rocco Kerr. Jake Menton, Nuden Engelsman, 9 places gained to finish 17th, head of Henry Melchior. In the number 217, Nicolas Machon and Jort van Ekelen rounding out the top 20. Levi Dries in 21st, the last of the classified finishers, with Jim Bach, Luca Van Leer, Nicolas Nijs, Lieke van Berkel and Vince Dries rounding out the 26 drivers that took to the start. And no Fabian Reutmann or Timo Koopmans at the start themselves.